Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. I'm Nick Fershaw here with a promising budding journalist that we've brought into the office today from the Colorado Rapids, a good friend of mine. I'm glad you're here. Drew Moor, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
A couple quick topics here. We'll start off with the news about the U.S. home qualifiers in the Hex report coming out on Monday that we have learned the 5 sites, unconfirmed by U.S. Soccer, but we already knew about Denver, March 22nd, the U.S. and Costa Rica, but now you've got Rio Tinto and Salt Lake, Columbus, Seattle, Kansas City. Where do they get the biggest advantage when you look at the 5 sites here?
I think, to be honest, all 5 sites are great choices for sure. First of all, depending on who they play where. The one that pops out at me that most people might not think about, to be honest, is Columbus.
Yeah.
I feel like they always do well there, especially when they play Mexico. So hopefully they'll continue that tradition. You can never ignore Seattle.
Yeah.
They make it such a great home field advantage for the Sounders. And so that should certainly be a fun place. But like I said, all 5 sites have very passionate fans. Hopefully they can start off well in Denver, my home stadium, and it's obviously a very big game after the first match.
Yeah. Again, March 22nd, that's the first one, the U.S. national team in Costa Rica. You can catch that complete list of all the sites on MLSsoccer.com. Next up, the news out of Toronto FC. The starting goalkeeper Stefan Frei suffered a broken nose on Saturday in a preseason game against the Columbus Crew down in Orlando. Scheduled to have surgery on Tuesday. Got to assume he's going to be out for a little bit, and then he's going to wear one of those facial masks that we see. We saw Aurelien Collin wear one last year with that broken cheekbone. The question here, have you ever broken anybody's nose?
Probably every 4 that I've gone up against. No, but for sure, my old teammate from last year, Jeff Lorenowitz, when he was at New England and I was at Dallas, actually.
The old days.
Yeah, back in the old days. And he reminded me of it as soon as we became teammates in Colorado a couple of years ago.
Was it an elbow or was it smashed heads?
It was a kind of a forearm, I think. He had gotten away from me on a corner, and I didn't want him to score. I ended up giving away a penalty kick and breaking his nose. So,
have you ever had your nose broken?
I've never, knock on wood, had my nose broken. I think the scariest part is anytime you get something with the head, you don't want to have a concussion. Yeah. You can deal with the nose break, but if you don't get a concussion, I think girls dig the crooked nose. So
that's Stefan Frei said actually that he was kind of proud of himself for going in on this tackle against Ryan Finn. They're going out for the ball, and he said, "That's how I know I'm back, man." He had a broken leg last year. Stefan Frei back once he heals from that broken nose. Last but not least, live coverage of the MLS preseason continues on Wednesday. The Desert Diamond Cup opens up. You can catch the live streams on MLSsoccer.com. One of those teams down there, I know you don't like to talk about it, is Real Salt Lake, your rivals out there in the Rocky Mountain Cup. But going into this season, and you guys will play them in the 3rd week of the season as part of Rivalry Week out at Rio Tinto, but it feels like not many guys are left because they had a lot of off-season changes. You guys traded away some guys, got rid of some guys. So how much is left in that rivalry going into 2013?
I think it'll always be a rivalry, but there's always a lot of, turnover. There has been a lot of turnover the past couple of years. The fans make it huge, and it's extremely important to both supporter sides. There's a trophy, there's the pride of the Rocky Mountain region, but there's still some players left. Pablo Mastroeni, Kyle Beckerman, Nat Borchers, Chris Winger. Those last 3 guys have played on both sides of it. RSL's kind of owned us the past couple of years. They've had that trophy for a long time, and we know how important it is to our fans. And so it'll always be a rivalry. For a while, it was probably the best rivalry in MLS. I don't think that's faded necessarily. I think there's been some other rivalries that have been added to the picture that have come on strong as well, but it's always an important match.
Well, I was at that 2010 game. I think it was the season finale for you guys before you made the MLS Cup run. Colorado and Real Salt Lake still has a lot of venom in that rivalry. It should be good in 2013. Before we get out of here, I want to remind everybody, MLS Live, that's the place where you're going to find 230 games streamed online, all the games from MLS this season. You can get more information about the Android and the iPhone coming later, but it's bigger and better than it's ever been this season. I mean, I'd watch it.
Yeah, I love MLS Live. I get it every year.
There you go.
I plan on getting it again this year.
There you go. Thank you so much for coming in. Drew Moor from the Colorado Rapids. Make sure you tune in. Season opener on March 2nd. You'll see Drew and the Colorado Rapids out there as the 2013 season gets underway. We'll be back with the Daily again tomorrow.